Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Ah, so let's see who, other than Aman, is here because Aman is here all the time. Welcome, Aman. How are you today? And you, right off the bat, you have a question. Fair enough. Says, hey, Mehran, 20 male India. Thank you for that. Says, I'm soon getting a job next year. I gonna join. Join what? The job? Or you're gonna have a job? So it's just an experimental question. Everybody gets married around 26, 29. Not everybody. The ones you know, or as it is over there in your neck of the wood. And 6, 9 years later than my age. But what if I tried to marry at age 23? What about it? What do you think you're going to gain? Is that a, and he says, is it wrong or right? Or what's the complications of marrying early? Or how it's a terrible one idea? Listen, you got to know what is it that you're trying to accomplish by getting married? Is it a shortcut to success that I'm now a credible person? I'm married. I have a wife. Da da da. I'm coming in. I'm on with his wife, and he didn't have any success in life yet, as far as his plans are concerned. But he's married, so he's got that echelon of credibility. He's a married man. Is that what you were trying to gain? Because that's pure bullshit. And what are the complications? Well, age 23, you're going to get married. What kind of money you have to spend on that family to provide for yourself, for your wife? What do you have in mind? Like, what kind of preparations do you have? What kind of a wisdom or expertise you have to lead a family? What kind of expertise or wisdom your wife to be will have to lead a family? What is she going to be? What, 21, 22, 19, 20? What does she know about life to be in a marriage that the husband himself is a young boy at age 20, 21, 22, 23 that you are? You're 90, you're 20 right now, yeah? You're 20 years old. What expertise or preparation do you have about this world and providing and the challenges that could ensue that you want to start a family at this age? Finished your education, you have a job that is on the climb, you make money, you have enough knowledge to know how to be balanced, tolerant, able to deal with challenges, work together. None of that is there. So you're going to do what? Get married, take the wife to parents' home, and there we go. I arrived. I'm married. Is that the ultimate purpose of life? That have a certain image among the other married people so you can suddenly elevate yourself to level of maturity by an action that you're not ready for? I suggest you just have a girlfriend for a while until you're 28, at least 29, you're settled, you have a job, you have money. Then you can choose based on who fits and meets your expectations and your standards, and you also fit their expectation and standards. Not based on desperation of, I want to have a wife so I can have sex and I can feel I'm mature and I'd be like, it's a shortcut to what? Fooling yourself. You got to ask yourself, what is your intention for getting married? Is that what I said it is? Oh, that's not good. Or did you find someone that you're really in love with and she's in love with you? You spend a couple of years together, you're growing together, and you get your education. She gets her education, you have a job, she has a job, and then you have a plan how to make this work. Or just let's get married. Family pays for it and all that. Was that a game? So you ask these questions, you'll come to the right answer. Usually, in most things, the answer is in the question. If you ask the question correctly and analyze it, you'll find the answer. All right. Hello, 123. And again, I need to know age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. So I need to know your age, your gender, and which country, which city you're watching the program. And she says, I'm a female and 16 from Germany. I hope you have informed your parents that you're on this program, because this channel is for older people. And if you're below 18, I hope that you've informed your parents and have permission from them to be here. And if you do, then you're welcome. She says, I'm female 16 from Germany. Guten Tag. Wie geht's heute? She says, I'm suffering from SOOCD, sexual orientation OCD, which is HOCD, is a new name for it, because HOCD, sexual orientation OCD, hits anyone regardless of your gender, because it's not a biological challenge, it's a psychological challenge. Therefore, they changed the name from homosexual OCD because it could also attack homosexuals, heterosexuals alike. So now it's called sexual orientation OCD. It says, I'm scared to be bi. It's not going to come out of the air and suddenly become bi or whatever. So when you say I'm scared to be bi, that means the suggestion has been made to you of this orientation by your brain. And if you were the brain and brain was you, that there was no difference, then you wouldn't have this question. because no one would have a question when he or she is that what is suggested, and the suggestion comes from him or herself. So if you were the brain, or the brain was you wouldn't have this question, because you can't be against what you're for. When a suggestion to your mind, to your brain, is that you bi, let's say, or you change your gender, that suggestion is coming from where? If it's coming from you, then you wouldn't be against it because it's coming from you. You wouldn't question it because it's coming from you. It's you who says that, desires that, and believes that, or is. Then you say it, and there is no contradiction. But when you ask a question and you say that I'm scared to be bi, that means you are in contradiction to what the suggestion is all about, which means you're not the source of the suggestion, which means you are separate from the source of the suggestion. Where's the source of suggestion? Brain, which means you are separate from the brain. Brain is not you, you're not the brain. That's why there's a contradiction. And the contradiction comes from awareness. Awareness is you. And the awareness, you, recognizes there's a suggestion that is contradicting who you are, what your interests and what your choices and values and lifestyle is, what your preference is. That's why you ask a question. So you cannot be something that you're not. It's no difference that if I walk in the street and people suggest me that I am something, but I'm not suggesting that they are. The source of suggestion is not me. Therefore, there's a contradiction. And I question it, but I don't have to question it. I should just ignore it. Because if it was me, I wouldn't have a question. I would welcome it. Ah, great. You know, I like potatoes. I like tomatoes. Great. You know, this and that. But you are the awareness, and you're totally separate from the brain, and brain is separate from you. Brain is an apparatus that spits out suggestions, thoughts. It doesn't know even what it's saying. And it's not consulting with you that, hey, I want to make this suggestion. Is that okay with you? Is that within your values? It doesn't. It just spits things out. Why? Because brain is not an intellect. It just spits out because it's a thought manufacturing machine. It is your job to judge what the brain spits out. Meaning, if it's suggesting this, and obviously there's a contradiction because you don't like it, then you ignore rather than entertain or think there is a message or a mandate in what the suggestion was made by the brain. You simply say, this is not my preference. This is not based on my values. This is not in line with my values that I hold sacred in my gatekeeper, in my superconsciousness, in my wise advocate. That is where my values are stored, and our principal core system of me. I find them sacred and I protect them. And what is in contradiction to those values, you simply ignore. Not to follow, oh, the brain said that, I must be it. No. Brain is no different than an intestine. It malfunctions. You get diarrhea, brain also gets different disorders. And it is up to you to help it and retrain it back to what is normal for you. The program, the brain or program of you in the way you are and your values are different in different people. What is normal for you, you got to help the brain to come back to it as it's been or as you prefer it. So don't be afraid. You're the boss. Brain is not the boss. You are. You roll in life by the power of your vetoes and your choices, not by the suggestion, thoughts, and ideas and images that the brain conjures up, it comes to your head, or other people utter up, and you're supposed to follow them. Brain is no different than other people. It's not you. Other people are not you either. And the brain is not you either. And you're not the brain. So you don't follow it. You judge it. And says, can sexual orientation OCD makes you think you're in love with your best friend? Yeah, it does. I know I'm not, but every time I read about the relationship my best friend pops into, yeah, that's OCD. Don't make anything else out of it. Pops into my head, or every time when I'm getting a message from her, I get nervous, and I'm always scared that this could mean something, even though I know I'm not in love with her. It always makes me that. No, that is what OCD and sexual orientation OCD is. It's actually textbook of sexual orientation OCD. And the French call it the doubting disease. Hmm? Of course, they have a little accent. The doubting disease. So, 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 so that's in the name OCD, the doubting disease. So you doubt everything, and the things pop up in your head because that's how the neurons brain works. Comes up with things that is trying to keep you occupied and keep you engaged to, so it will feel secure, because that's what how brain finds its security, but keeping busy and creating havoc, so you will interact with it and it will be occupied, and through that occupation it feels safe, especially when there's a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain, which we talked about it before, in the basal ganglia, in the striatum area, caudate nucleus, which is kind of a lever, supposedly to act as a lever in automatic cars, that is supposed to change gears automatically. So when the orbital prefrontal cortex suggests some nonsense, and caudate nucleus, it's supposed to automatically shut that down, because it knows about you, who you are, your gender, your values. It shuts it down. And that's why 8 billion people on earth, every single one of them have intrusive thoughts. But every time it shows up, caudate nucleus shuts it down. So they say, ooh, what is that? Then they go about their business because it disappears. But when caudate nucleus is malfunctioning, when such thoughts show up, pops up, as it pops up in every human being's brain, it doesn't get that automatic reaction from caudate nucleus to shut it down, because there's a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain, namely in this particular striatum. So what it does, it doesn't dissipate. And the thought that popped up in the head, which is natural, that's what the brain does, it hovers. It doesn't dissipate. When it doesn't dissipate, it keeps coming in and shows itself. You think, oh, it must mean something. It's a message. No, it's a malfunction. Just like in your intestine. When you have a diarrhea, you don't say, oh, it's diarrhea. Maybe it's a message. Maybe I just have always been, looking to have a diarrhea. No, it's a malfunction. You understand that, and you help it to heal. Same thing. There's a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. Now you got to learn how to rewire the brain to come back to what it was originally programmed for you, that is now having a disorder. And then you can correct it through the research that psychologists have done, and the rhythm of thinking, and how to deal with it, how to understand it, and to separate the brain from you, and then all the other little exercises that you can do. And pretty soon, thought shows up. You recognize the thought to be intrusive. Then you call the thought for what it is. That's intrusive thought. It's not me. That's the brain. It's not me. That's HOCD. It's not me. That's OCD. It's not me. You call it for the name that it deserves to be, and then you ignore it and go about your business, whatever it is that you're supposed to accomplish. And if it shows up 1,000,000 times, you do the same treatment 1,000,000 times. Eventually, the brain gets reprogrammed that, this person doesn't appreciate this interpretation of me or this suggestion of mine. So it starts reducing these popping up things. And every time they pop up, you just simply learn how to negotiate. You know how you would drive your car or your bicycle? Automatically, you just maneuver over puddles, potholes, rocks, shit, debris. You don't think about them. You just go. But they're there in life. They're part of life. Thoughts too. They're part of life. They come in, part of the function of the brain. But you learn as you train yourself, you become an expert, maneuver, and you don't even notice them there. Why? Because your selection and ignoring process becomes automatic. So that's how you help, reprogram, rewire the coded nucleus, the brain, to function as it was meant to function for you. All right. Let's go to Nova. Nova says, hello, Mehran. Male 21, Florida, USA. Ah, the land of free. The only place on earth that people are free. The rest of it's gone to hell, including my own country here. It's all going toward dictatorial fascism. And it's an unfortunate event of the world that we've been fooled by all these talks of democracy and indoctrination of getting used to that we live in a democracy and we vote for politicians and we pick the supposedly presidents or prime ministers, and then we find out that the whole thing was a scam. They actually were scamming against us all. We, the people, thought we are in power, but in fact, the governments are using their own powers while they have been given the mandate by us on their illusion of their being democratic and they are in power. They're using that power to imprison us right here without taking over anything, as we have already given the powers to them. So we need to take the power away and do what Florida has done and make sure that we have some decent people who would use the law to protect people, not use the law to imprison and take away our rights, which is rightfully ours in a democratic society. So we don't have that democratic society. We're all prisoners of injustice at the moment. So viva Florida. It says, yesterday I saw something that was really unpleasant and I really wish I had not seen it. I feel like it will give me anxious HOCD thoughts. How should I took back on unpleasant memories that can cause HOCD thoughts and other anxious or confusing thoughts? Ignore the thoughts. Thoughts have no reality. Memory is dead. It's the past. The past is dead, doesn't exist. So what are you worried about? What trigger? Memory is a virtual world. And in a virtual world, nothing exists in actuality. Yet you react to a virtual world with your memory in an actual world, and you think the virtual dictates your actual world. It doesn't. You shouldn't allow it. Meaning, ignore the virtual memories and focus on the now, the present moment, what you are, where you are, what you're doing, what you're involved in, what you're engaged in. That's the reality. And you learn from the mistakes, and the mistakes don't carry on. Mistakes is done, you learn about it, and you make sure it doesn't happen again. That's the end of it. You want to sterilize the world, that nothing would be there, then we are not really in control, because we'd be subjected to so many things that is out there, and we would be like a vegetable that we have no control of, knowing that we can roll with our vetoes and choices and ignore what we want to ignore, what we think is unpleasant, and we just focus on something else that is not unpleasant. Use your judgment. Hello 123 from Germany says, well, that makes so much sense. Thank you very much. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. Remember, guys, I have a site called mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. That's where you can look at the table of contents of my books. On one of the favorite books of mine, Me, My Psyche, and I, which tells you about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, meditation, mind and body coordination, and understanding the psyche and the movement of your psyche. And you can look at the table of contents, and if you liked it, you can acquire the ebook version, which is very nominal. I made it very, very nominal so everybody can afford it. As a paper version of it is very expensive because it's also heavy and includes the shipping. So that price includes the shipping, and that's why it's not, the best choice now that you can have the ebook version with tenth of the price. But at the same time, I have services of consultation, as you know, that you can go and choose a package and make a consultation appointment for 1 hour. And usually for new clients, I give an extra hour for a 1 hour appointment in that very session. And then we'll be able to discuss what's concerning you one on Skype. In here, we can discuss some things for a few minutes, but when he wants to go get in depth, then I suggest you guys to make an appointment and then we'll hash out, explore together, one on Skype, what's concerning you. All right. So let me take a break, have a sip of tea, and you guys gather your thoughts. And we have a whopping 4 people in our live stream. As helpful as this channel is and so popular and worthy of attention, well, we've got 4 people here. Which are the most important ones? Whoever is here is what we cherish. And last night, though, we had 18 people. Whoopee! But we do expect to have at least a few thousand people in our live stream eventually when we get to 1 million or 2 million subscribers, which is what I hope to accomplish before I die. Because it's moving like a snail. As wonderful as our content is and helpful as it is, as I've heard from thousands and thousands of you throughout the years, we are just not visible. So I need you guys to promote the channel, share the videos you like on your social media, talk about it in chat lines and wherever, however you can, promote it so we can be getting more exposure and be able to reach more people and help more people. All right, that was the advertisement. So I'm going to put a little advertisement for you so I can take a break until we get more people in. And there it is. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. Well, we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much. I forgot that the advertisement was over. I was just in my own daydream. Aman says, yep, we're convinced. Okay, good. So what's going on today? How is it that we have so many, what, so few number of participants? Is it the time of the day that is not right? Let's see. Am I visible on Facebook? Hmm. Oh, there you go. Here, yes. Yeah, I am live. I can see myself. That's cool. But nobody's here. I'm alone. All right. What else is up here? I guess it's a private session. Only two, three people here, for heaven's sake. Uh, Aman says others gone to fight zombies. Yeah. Bad joke, lol. No, not bad joke. What was wrong with it? Aman says, do you have any favorite modern song? Not really. I don't know songs. Like when I hear them, I like them or I don't like them. But I don't have, or I don't know a particular name for a song that I heard and I liked. When I was in university, of course, we knew lots of songs because that was the thing, go to discos and know which concert or which, songs are popular and so on and so forth. But nowadays, I don't listen to radio most of the times or the music that comes out. I'm mostly busy with the things that I think I need to do in order to expand my business or bring success to what I'm trying to achieve. So my time is really filled. And once in a while, when I feel like listening to some music, I go on YouTube and click on the music that I know, such as Gypsy King Group, Barry White, Santana, mm, I don't know, Steve Miller Band sometimes, depending, Pink Floyd, and things that I don't even. There are many other that I don't remember the names, but I recognize when I think of him. I say, "Oh yeah," like Cat Stevens. I like his stuff, and many others. I just don't have it right here. But when I think about them, there are a number of musics and songs, mostly oldies. Like sometimes Michael Jackson's stuff is amazingly good. When I'm in the mood to listen it, like Beat It and all the other famous ones. In fact, I remember years ago when I was just at my wedding, I was dancing to Michael Jackson's favorite or the most popular with my bride, and it was quite a show because I might say I was a pretty good dancer, and so the discos and the disco dance and all that was one of my favorite. So it was a good atmosphere with that music. So I remember that. But the funny enough is that when we finished the dance and everybody was enjoying the music and so on, the photographer was filming had ran out of the film, so we don't have any. So we don't have any evidence of that. And the funny thing is that the guy was kept continuing and holding it in while he knew there was no film in it, like he had ran out. He said, but I had no choice. I wanted to at least keep it up so people wouldn't say, why are you not filming? But I knew I didn't, I had ran out of film. So big part of my wedding, I don't have the the film for the dancing part and all that. It's unfortunate. But so I remember many musics at my time. Today's music, eh, mostly garbage. Some are good, some are garbage. Music went down kind of late 80s, came back up a little bit in the 90s, then it went down, just lost its rhythm and all these artistic efforts and turned into rap, and it was fine for a bit, but it's got boring. So there's no real rhythm in the music today to dance with. It's just, I don't know. Anyhow, I might be out of date with it. So let's see. Hello 123 says maybe it helps somebody. Haha. Songs that really helped me getting through SOOCD are, for example, Believer from the Imagine, Imagine Dragons. Oh, I see. Or somebody that I used to know from Gotcha, because I always like to imagine. Huh? Okay. Says they're about my SOOCD. Okay. That they're about. Okay. But remember, make sure that the lyrics or the words would always be something that you want to achieve rather than something that you think is hitting you or you are, according to the suggestion of the brain. So the enforcement would be something that you want to achieve, not something that you want to get away from, that you don't find it in line with your values. So, because they will, if you keep repeating it, that also makes an impression. So if it's positive and is going to help you to achieve where you want to go, great. Well, guys, it's 46 minutes, and somehow this was a favorite time of most people to come to the live stream, but today's Saturday, isn't it? It is. And everybody's sleeping. Maybe I should take a nap as well. Wake me up when people show up. I guess we can chit chat with whoever is here for the next short while, and then I'll guess I'll just mosey on and do something else. Hello, 123. What part of Germany you come from? I used to go back and forth to Germany quite a bit, at least, once a year. Okay, now we're back. All right, now we've hit big number 7. So I wonder where the questions, guys. If you don't need me, I'll go jump in the lake or something. Have you heard the news during the past few days? Uh, it was discovered that the Red Hill area in my favorite land, Hawaii, in Oahu Island, Red Hill, the fuel uh, reservoirs of the Navy apparently has leaked into the water supply of the Oahu areas and has poisoned people who apparently have gone to hospital, some, and have signs of burnt, um, chemical burn in their mouth, which is a horrific situation. And apparently, the authorities in Hawaii, since many years ago, they have been encouraging the responsible parties for that fuel reserve area to move it away from the clean water supply, which is about 100 feet above the water supply that reservoir is built, as what I heard, which is now leaked into the water supply and is poisoning and endangering the lives of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So that is a very sad thing that I heard on the news. That I'm going to put the link here for you guys to, if you want to watch the news yourselves, um, you can. So you have the full story, and this is the link for that video. Very sad to hear that. The responsibility of people and Navy's reserve, fuel reserve, for years it's been there. Very sad. Water source is life. We should protect it. How could they be so careless and allow this reservoir to rust and leak and endanger the water supply, which is life on earth? Jesus, I can't understand how irresponsible an organization that is supposed to be very responsible, military grade responsibility. However, Navy has dropped the ball on this. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Very sad about it. There are many atrocities and things are happening around the world that every one of them are just as bad. And hopefully, the world comes together and starts getting rid of all these bad policies and careless behavior and organize itself to protect and help things to grow and develop rather than causing harm to nature, to people. Anyhow, so it looks like we are not having much of a use for this program today. Probably this is the slowest live stream I've ever had. I never experienced this. I don't know what's happening with you guys. Where everybody? Where is everybody? You guys sleeping It's Saturday, for heaven's sake. That's when you usually come to the live stream. Okay, I hang around for another 6 minutes and then I'll mosey on out. Hello, 123. You didn't reply. Where in Germany are you positioned? Where are you? Aman says, how to not feel bad if public laughs on me or dislikes me and makes me feel terrible. Why should public be responsible to make you feel good or terrible? Why shouldn't that be you? By ignoring what is not pleasant and by paying attention to what it is. So somebody doesn't like me. Do you think everybody likes me? There are lots of people who don't like me, I'm sure. But I don't care about who doesn't like me. I only care about who likes me. So I don't see the ones who don't like me because I don't focus on them. When I notice that they don't like me or they're malice or they have malice in mind or they're negative towards me, I move on. I don't associate with them. So why would it actually? Yeah, momentarily it may feel like disrespectful or bothersome because we have an ego and we like to be liked. And when somebody utters that kind of a whatever comment or behavior or a look or unlook or whatever it is, there's a certain energy attached to it, and that energy we are we have sensories that we feel energy and we don't like bad energy. So when you feel that bad energy, just move on rather than say, why are you sending bad energy? You're not responsible for what they do or they don't. They're sending bad energy. You just don't stand in the way of it. Just go away and let the energy go to hell and hit the wall. Why are you standing there trying to change them? What value do they have that you want to change them? You move on to the people who already are kind, nice, respectful, polite. It's no different than if you want to sit somewhere and the chair or the stone, the rock they want to sit on is dirty. What do? Start arguing, why are you dirty? Why are you not clean for me? I want to sit down. It's me. I have respect. But you see, it's a dirty rock, dirty chair. So I just go somewhere else. You treat people like that. If they're negative and dirty minded in the way of interacting with you, the energy is dirty, the energy is not clean and interesting or positive or happy. You ignore them. You go away. You don't try to fix them up. That's it. Uh, what? Do you ask who about it again? Aman. Nova says, hey, Marin, how should I let other people's word bring me down and not to let them confuse me? What do you do when a radio program is about something you don't like to hear or a music that is not really done well? You move on from the proximity of the broadcast of that speaker. You move further and further away until you can't hear it anymore. Same thing with people, you know? Just one moment, guys. I got to get this. Okay, guys. It's time for me to go. I got to go somewhere. Paranav, I'm sorry, dear. I will get to your question maybe tonight at 12 midnight my time because I got to go right now. Okay. So I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you, although there was just a few of us here. But I look forward to our next live stream. I have to go. I'm sorry, guys, but we've been together for an hour and not too many people showed up. Anyhow, so look forward to talk to you soon. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind that seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.